All right, repeatedly flying over the apartment just as I'm documenting. This is vibration of my apartment inside. They're also stalking in planes. Okay, now the helicopters amplified audible activities engaged in crossing a path by flying over by planes as well. Ontario Police and crossing path on the roads, multiple shadows, so their group's talking with Ontario PD. This is the same thing Alvarado Gardens is doing, and they're repeating over while I'm publishing onto YouTube the Pomona Police in the same exact pattern of conduct. Oh, excuse me. That's called crossing a path with multiple shadows. That's what the whole property is engaged. Entities repeatedly flying over. They're doing so under the fake sun during the day. Okay, so you just looked at the same iteration of the P.O.C. with Amazon Prime under the fake sun. That's the entity doing so while they're group stalking, living at an apartment complex where the fake sun is rising and setting. And that's what you're witnessing while it's present in the morning. 9:20 a.m. Ontario PD flying over my head while the fake sun is at the same property. 8 hours from now, flying over my head, flying over the property with Amazon Prime, which was the method of relevant positioning light activity. That's called light activity while you're walking in the engineered light crossing path with Ontario PD, who is, again, these are demons showing the entire property is going to be prosecuted for state surveillance and federal. This is a property of population engaged in surveillance in conformity to the P.O.C. Federal stalking is underway. When you're looking at, excuse me, here's a shadow here and here's a shadow here. That's called light activity, shadows on both sides. That's impossible light activity, and that's a demon. All right, this is AVANATH Communities group stalking. All right, doing so with Ontario PD, and Tracy Banks is inside of her apartment group stalking. This demon in apartment 55, 24-hour surveillance. That's my shadow upright on a wall in front of me. That has nothing to do with the building lights. That's P.O.C., what you saw at 6 o'clock in the morning. All right, building lights, do not create your shadow across from you. That's not light activity, that's naturally occurring. That's what the Ontario International Airport was engaging in, group stalking, pacing the sky space. Ontario PD flying over, engaging in repeated pacing because they're fearful of the evidence that I will continue to publish on the internet, on third-party YouTube, where the entities engaged in federal stalking, and the demon-possessed who are mentally ill. The Ontario Police Department is a terrorist organization, very heavily referenced in the evidence that I'm publishing onto the internet right now. This is why they're going to be disbanded. That's why those demons that are stalking in helicopters are going to federal prison. This is why Mike Lorenz is subject to what is removal and a federal prosecution. I want to be clear. Just like Dominic Choi and the demons of the Los Angeles Police Department, just like Robert Luna of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, not different by the entity that's group stalking by the fire departments and the sheriff's department in San Bernardino County. So I just want to be clear. This is what I'm capturing with regard to the pattern of conduct that the entities engaged in at Alvarado Gardens. I'm capturing ongoing amplification by 55, alternating with the amplification right now. It was helicopter alternating because the entity is communicating a higher threat while it stalks directly, doing so vicariously with number 55 directly above. This is a demon who was engaged in 24-hour surveillance. She or he is going to federal prison, and this entire population that's living at the crime scene where the fake sun is now rising and setting, to the exclusion of the rest of the state. No other location could the sun be present, including Alvarado Gardens, including over my vehicle in Baldwin Park, like I'm documenting on August 3rd, 2024. And the demons that are engaged in surveillance are, again, flying over my head at this apartment complex, incriminating AVANATH Communities, incriminating the people of the state at Woodside Senior Apartments, incriminating the demon living at 307 West G Street in Ontario, where this entity did the same thing because I'm documenting the people of the state. I'm publishing the evidence against the entire state, including the demons living in relevant position. All right, it is currently, again, 9:36 p.m. You're looking at Malice while demons are unloading and loading and unloading. Whether I come out of the apartment or not, they're group stalking with Ontario PD while they're walking and having shadows on both sides of their person. That's not light that's caused by light activity that's caused by the light fixtures. In the same way, that light is not shooting into your apartment or your house, wherever it is, creating your upright shadow. That's engineered light. You're looking at the demonic, and the Ontario Police is showing you how the demon-possessed terrorist organizations in California are masquerading as law enforcement agencies engaged in state surveillance and federal stalking with the people of the state. All right, it is currently, again, what is 9:36 p.m. and this is the evidence that is subject to surveillance online while I am publishing it. So I just want to show you that. This is the evidence published on today, but it's referring to August 3rd, 2024 at 1:42 p.m. I'm documenting the fire department. I'm in Pomona, California. The fake sun is directly over the top of my car. You'll recall I'm remaining at Woodside Senior Apartments, and I'm capturing the fake sun remaining as a matter of evidence today, 9:20 in the morning until 6 p.m. the latest. The entity is keeping this light source over Woodside Senior Apartments, and also engaging what is terrorism in real time while they're surveilling the evidence that I'm publishing onto the internet. This is the light source that's directly over the top of my car. And this is the evidence that the entity is engaging in what is terrorizing me and harassing as an entity, a demon-possessed one, a hostile one. These are terrorists that threaten you more so as you document, which as I publish this evidence about what's going on in an entirely different location over the top of my head, it's exposing and prosecuting the Ontario Police Department. And while the Ontario Police Department engages in that criminal conduct, it's exposing and prosecuting the people of the state. All right, this is speaking to the specific environment where federal stalking is underway. Federal stalking is also employed as a means of maintaining the elements of monitoring, which is again what I'm engaged in continuous documentation of, especially inside of the venue where I remain. And I want to show you the light source as it's directly over the top of my car. And you're going to be mindful that this is 1:42 in the afternoon where I'm capturing this video on August 3rd, 2024. This is activity creation that you're listening to in the background, but the entity is maintaining the light source over the top of my vehicle while I'm on the roads and highways, capturing the entity stalking by the state on a motorcycle, which is crossing path. The same public corruption while the Ontario Police is maintaining presence over the apartment complex where at 1:42 p.m. that's not the sun that's over Woodside Senior Apartments while I'm capturing nowhere near Ontario. I'm on the freeway, the 210 in particular, coming from Los Angeles County, and the entity's maintaining that light source en route. All right, while I'm on the 210 East. That's speaking to what's incriminating the Ontario Police Force group stalking in the specific environment where the moon is over the property where the fake sun is remaining for 12 plus hours in the day. And this is the entity that engaged in criminal acts of obstruction of justice that is intended to retaliate, intimidate, threaten, and harass while they're still obsessively group stalking, which is exactly what's underway at this property. The entire state is being prosecuted while I'm documenting. It's currently 9:39 p.m. where you're looking at what the Ontario Police has been, and Ontario Police represents the state. Ongoing stalking in helicopters while the fake sun remained at the same exact property. That's exposing the demon possession of the mentally ill who are engaged in state surveillance, which is group stalking, in sync, in concert with the state. And it's exactly what the Ontario International Airport, which Alan D. WAPNER knows all about. This is P.O.C.